Today, we're diving into a really interesting strategy that comes from Michael Shreeve Jr. You might remember him as the guy who ran the No Pants Project. These days, though, he's shifted gears. His main focus is something called peaceful profits, and one of the core things he's pushing is his book, The One Book Millions Method. Now, here's the question. Can a single short book really make you the #1 authority in your niche and help you scale up to a 7-figure business? I know that sounds wild, right? But stick with me, because by the end of this video, you're going to see how Michael's approach to exposure, funnels, and scaling might actually change the way you think about growing a business. Before I start, if you're tired of scams and want a real solution for making money online, check out my #1 recommendation in the description below. All right, let's start with this. Why does being #1 in your niche even matter? Think about it. When you're recognized as the best in your field, when you're top of mind for people, you can charge more. You don't have to defend your prices. Sales calls become easier because prospects already trust you. Other big names, JV partners, affiliates, influencers, they're more likely to collaborate with you. And your audience? They're way more forgiving if you decide to roll out a new offer or pivot your business model. In short, being #1 gives you leverage. And in business, leverage is everything. But here's the kicker. Being #1 doesn't necessarily come from having the best product. And that might surprise you. Let me give you a quick example. Take Tesla. Now, if you've ever followed Tesla owners online, you'll know the complaints. Missing bolts, panels that don't line up, weird paint issues, people dropping $100,000 on a new car only to find swirl marks on the hood. It's almost a meme at this point, right? And yet, despite all of that, Tesla dominates the electric vehicle market. Why? It's not because their cars are flawless. It's because of exposure. Everyone knows Tesla. Everyone talks about Tesla. And everyone associates Tesla with the future of cars. That's the lesson. The best doesn't always win. The most visible wins. And this is where Michael Shreeve drops his big idea. According to him, the single word that explains market domination is exposure. Whoever gets the most exposure becomes #1. Period. And he makes it really clear. If you want to be the top dog in your niche, if you want to be the go-to person everyone thinks of, it's not about having the flashiest product or the biggest team. It's about who can get in front of the most eyeballs. So the question becomes, what's the best way to get exposure? Now, there are a lot of ways you could answer that question. You could say content marketing, YouTube videos, podcasting, SEO, all the organic, slow burn stuff. And yes, those can work. But if you want speed and simplicity, Michael says, just buy it. Run ads. That's it. Doesn't matter if it's Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Google, you name it. Paid ads put you directly in front of people. On average, for about $40, you can reach 1,000 people. Now let's scale that up. If you're spending $500 a day, you're in front of about 12,500 people every single day. Do that for an entire year, and you've reached 4.5 million people. 4.5 million. And here's the kicker. If you're in front of that many people, your business doesn't even have to be amazing. Exposure covers up a lot of imperfections. Michael puts it like this. There's a point at which exposure actually corrects a lot of the marketing and sales issues that people have. What does that mean? Well, imagine you've got a sales process that's clunky, or maybe your offer isn't perfectly positioned. Even if your conversion rate is painfully low, the sheer volume of people you're reaching means you'll still make sales. It's math. If 1 out of every 100 people buys, and you only reach 1,000 people, that's 10 customers. But if you reach 4.5 million people, suddenly, even with a weak process, you've got a thriving business. But let's get practical. Ads cost money, right? So how do you make this strategy sustainable? Michael's answer, build an acquisition funnel. Basically, you set things up so the money you spend on ads pays for itself. Here's how it works. Let's say you've got a low-ticket product. Some people do this with mini courses. But Michael prefers books, like the funnel he's running with the One Book Millions method. So imagine this. You spend $1 to put your book in front of someone. That person buys the book, and you make your dollar back. Boom. Your ads just paid for themselves. But here's where it gets powerful. Now you've got a buyer on your list. Not just a freebie seeker, but someone who's already proven they'll take out their credit card for you. From there, you can introduce higher ticket programs, coaching, or consulting. And since your ad spend is self-funding, you can scale almost infinitely. Now, why a book? Why not just a cheap course or a PDF guide? Because a book positions you as the authority. Think about it. When someone holds a book in their hand with your name on it, you're instantly elevated in their mind. You're not just another internet marketer. You're an author. Books are also easy to consume, easy to share, and they create trust at scale. And remember, trust plus exposure equals dominance in your niche. Michael Shreeve's whole philosophy here is simple but powerful. If you want to build a 7-figure business, stop obsessing over whether your product is perfect, whether your sales page is perfectly written, or whether your team is big enough. Instead, focus on exposure. Get in front of more people than anyone else in your space. Use paid ads to make it happen faster. And build a self-liquidating funnel, like a book funnel, that funds your exposure so you can keep scaling without going broke. At that point, it almost doesn't matter how good you are. The math, the reach, and the authority you've built will do the heavy lifting. Now, I've got to say, there's a lot of wisdom in this. Is it oversimplified? Maybe a little. Because yes, at the end of the day, your offer does matter. Your customer experience does matter. But Michael's point is that exposure can buy you time. It can buy you credibility. It can buy you enough volume to make mistakes and still come out on top. And that's a really empowering idea for entrepreneurs who feel stuck. Because if you've been obsessing over details or waiting for everything to be perfect, maybe the real move is just to get visible. Run the ads. Build the funnel. Let the market see you, flaws and all. So what do you think? Do you buy into Michael Shreeve's One Book Millions method? Do you believe exposure really is the key to becoming number one in your niche? Before you leave, if you're tired of scams and want a real solution for making money online, check out my number one recommendation. Click the link in the description to see the best business to start online, which made me over $26,000 last month alone. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more reviews and honest insights. Thanks for watching.